welcome to retreat. Shout out to the best small group that won that competition. All right, guys, you did it. We're here. Good job. James, I'm talking. All right, so the theme of this retreat is always forward. You've noticed. Over this weekend, we'll be discussing how to persist through suffering and move always forward in our journey to have a relationship with Jesus. He is the victory over pain and death. He is our hope and our salvation. He is love. He is the way, the truth, and the life. Our lives are aimed at him, and our goal is intimate connection with him. But this first talk isn't called Always Forward. It's called Always Hurting. Yay.
Let's go.
So why start a retreat off with always hurting? Doesn't sound very inspirational. True, but the reality is that we as people are always hurting. Maybe not always in a physical way, but in a spiritual way, we're all hurting. Sin is in our lives, and our souls suffer from it. We bear the weight of so many pains, and they're crushing us to the ground. We are not perfect. We all have our faults. We are all broken. And if anyone here has ever broken a bone, you know it hurts. And we're trying to move always forward towards Jesus, towards the source of our hope. But if we're broken and we're always hurting, how does this affect us moving forward? Well, when you break your leg, you can't walk. When you break your arm, you can't climb. And when your soul is crushed to the ground with the weight of all your pains, forget moving forward. You can't even stand up. So if we're ever going to move forward, we have to start by acknowledging what is holding us down. That starts with uprooting all that is bad in our lives, all the things that keep us broken. So what are these things? What are the things that cause us pain? Well, it can be relationships, experiences, sin, etc. Every person is unique. We are all broken in different ways. There may be experiences in your life that have spiritually wounded you. And that can look different for every individual. It could have been the loss of a loved one that you had a strong effect on you. It could have been hurtful words spoken to you by someone you cared about. It could even have been something you came across on social media that had a negative effect on you and you internalized it. But whatever it is, it leaves us wounded and broken. These are the things we have to let go of and leave behind before we move forward. This is because our wounds and brokenness don't stop with the initial blow. It's not a one-and-done situation. Our wounds stick with us. They don't heal on their own. We go through life patched together and taped up so that no one can notice just how much we are falling apart. And that's how we live life, taped together. That's how we go about our normal day. And we probably do a pretty good job of pulling ourselves together. Most people probably couldn't even tell how broken we are. And that's the goal, right? To slap a nice smile on and be completely unbothered by the world. Well, while that might save face, it won't stop you from feeling broken. It won't help you be any more free of pain. Okay, but why is it even important to leave these things behind? I'm strong, I can bear it. I keep trudging along like I always do, I get by. Well, because you're not trudging so much as limping. And when we limp, we fall down. And when we fall into the nasty dirt of sin and shame. And that's no way to live. Even if you've lived that way your whole life, God is offering you a better way, a freer way. One where you don't limp, but you run. And then moving forward becomes so easy because you're not falling every 2 steps. Let me try and paint a picture in your mind of the kind of hurt I want us to leave behind. Imagine a person had been told, maybe in words or just by actions, by someone whose opinion mattered to them, that they are not worth it. They are not smart, not attractive, not good at anything, overall unlovable. And while those initial words or actions are a lie, they still embed themselves into their soul and fester. The lie starts to feel more and more true, and they can't help but believe it deep down. And a million people could tell them that they love them, and that they're worth loving, But they can't believe it because someone they cared about and loved told them that they're not worth it. And suddenly they're stuck. They're stuck not being able to be loved by anyone and not able to love others. How are they supposed to move forward from that? God is love, and they can't even accept him. That's how broken they are. Shush! That's how much that person is always hurting. And that person was me in high school. I was the one walking around, taped together, hoping no one could see just how wounded I was. My little soul was just limping around, trudging through, and getting by. And I couldn't figure out why I kept falling into the same sins over and over again. See, these wounds aren't just something we carry. They affect every aspect of our lives. Our relationships with people, our day-to-day habits, and most notably, our relationship with God. Like I said before, if we limp, we are going to fall. So if we keep falling into the same sins over and over again, there's a good chance that we have a wound that keeps hurting us. With my wound of being unlovable, I fell into a variety of the same sins over and over again because of my desire to be wanted and to be loved. But sin is not where I found healing. Your brokenness is like a chain. It's holding you back from experiencing the love and joy of Jesus Christ. It has crippled you in this journey towards him. You can't move forward. You can struggle against it, and you can work with what little freedom that chain gives you, but you can't go farther. You can grit your teeth and fight all you want, but you're stuck in your pain. So if we're so broken, what hope is there? How can we even start to move forward if we can't get off the floor? We can't move forward until we leave the chains behind, but that takes a decision on your part. You have to want freedom. You have to want to not live in pain anymore. Well, duh, Alex, who'd want to live in pain? Sorry. You'd be surprised. Sometimes we can find comfort in our wounds. The healing process is uncomfortable, as anyone who's had to heal from a physical wound may know. For example, as some of you know, I'm a horse girl. One time, I fell off my horse, and I landed in the dirt and got a nice big wound on my knee. I had to go clean it off, so I went to the bathroom to rinse it in the sink. And when I went over to the sink, I saw some hand sanitizer sitting on the counter. And some of you are ahead of me. Knowing at that young age of probably too old, that hand sanitizer kills germs, I slapped a hefty amount right on my knee. And word to the wise, don't do that. Because I kid you not, my leg about gave out from under me. It hurt so bad. But all that to say, the healing process doesn't always feel good. But being healed is better than dying from a dirty wound. So those moments that you hold on to, the ones that keep you chained from experiencing the fullness of life, the ones that handicap you, invite Jesus in to heal you from that pain. Pray for the Holy Spirit to come down and free you from those chains so that you can start moving forward and experience freedom in Jesus Christ. Pray for your healing. There's got to be places in your life where you are so sick of failing and falling constantly. Invite God into that moment. It doesn't have to be profound. You just say, God, I can't fix this on my own, and I am so tired of limping. Please help me. He wants you whole. He didn't make you broken. He wants to heal you if you let him. And yes, it is a process. But in the process, you can let go of always hurting and start moving forward.